I feel good. Boom. I knew that I would now, because I've got some fixed blades to share with you. I'm in a weird mood. It's Fixed Blade Friday, and we're looking at the Schrade SCH56 large series. I've got the one with the TPM handle scales, and I got the micarta handle scales. TPM comes with the cheaper ballistic nylon sheath. The micarta one comes with this Kydex sheath. And if you want to buy a leather sheath, Schrade sells that as well. MSRP is 20 bucks, so you can probably find it a good chunk cheaper than that. Let's take a look at these knives, these fixed blades today. Stick around for a full review. As you can see from the knife already, just by looking at it right there, I recorded the outdoor stuff first. The footage that you'll see in a little while. And so after doing all that outdoor work, yes, the coating here has come off a little bit, and that's totally normal. That's what happens. When you got 1095 steel, it's good to have a coating on it because that helps protect it. But even though it does have a coating, you still need to take care of it, or else you're going to get yourself some rust. So you need to keep it a little bit of oil on there regularly. Let's talk about these knives. I'm quite enjoying them. I've had them for quite a while. I bought this one myself 5 months ago or so, and I played with it and used it an awful lot. Did a complete review and everything outside. When I was finished, and I looked at the footage, the light was just wrong, and it was just a terrible quality video from a technical standpoint. The content was good, but it just was a nasty video, so I just wouldn't post it. And since then, Schrade decided that they were going to send me some stuff, and I'm so very thankful for that. And I asked them to send me the micarta version of this knife, largely because I liked the TPE one so much, and I haven't had anything with micarta from Schrade. And so I asked for this knife because I wanted to do a one-on-one kind of comparison between the two. There's a couple differences here. If you get the TPE handle version one, that's the lowest cost version. By the way, there is an SCH56, which is a little bit smaller than these. These two are both the SCH56L, and then this one is the SCH56LM. So it just adds the micarta, or changes the micarta handle, puts the different handle scales on. Otherwise, it's the same knife, but with the micarta knife, you get the Kydex sheath. So that's a really good upgrade. Both of them come with the ferro rod, and as I mentioned in the intro, you can buy yourself a leather sheath. Schrade's leather is always really good. This is one of their other knives. This is actually an old-timer knife, and I've got a number of their knives with leather, and their leather is always really good quality. Now, this might be a bad thing to show you because the leather sheath that comes with this, that you can get for this guy, is black. I'll show you a picture of it. I just wanted to show you this here to let you know that yes, I have experienced Schrade's leather recently, and it's really good stuff. It's not super high-end, but for budget prices, which is what most of Schrade's stuff is, good quality, budget blades that are going to work hard for you and last for a long time. You take care of them just a little bit, and they'll take care of you an awful lot. And I'm saying that not because they gave me this knife, but because I have loved Schrade for a long time. And, it's a good company that makes good stuff. Okay, let's get at the specs here before I babble on too long. I haven't done the weights yet. I'll put the weights on the bottom of the screen. The weight of the knife, the micarta one, and then the weight with the TPE handle. And, alongside at the same time, I'll put the weight of the sheaths as well. How about the sizes of everything? We'll get through that before I talk about what I like and don't like about this knife. First, we got 1095 carbon steel. It's a good steel. It's been heat treated really well. The length of the cutting edge, so we've got a nice little sharpness choil here, which I really like. And so then the length of the cutting edge is 4 inches, which is 10.3 centimeters. The thickness of the steel behind the grind, this is a Hardy big working knife, and so it's a little bit thick. It's 0.058 inches thick. That's just, on this one, it's easy to see. It's just where, you start getting the black coating again. That's where that was measured. That is 1.5 millimeters thick right back there. This knife can go through wood and you can chop, and yeah, big knife. The thickness of the steel right here, it's 2/10 of an inch. Sorry, I don't have the traditional, quarter, 16th kind of measurements. 2/10 of an inch. I use my vernier caliper, or vernier maybe is what you say in America, this caliper. And that is 5¼ millimeters thick. Nice chunky piece of steel. The handle is 4¼ inches long on both of them, which is 12.1 centimeters. The thickness is about 3/4 of an inch on both of them, which is 1.9 centimeters. And the total length is 9¼ inches, which is 23.4 centimeters on both of them. So now that I've done the measurements, let's roll some of the outside footage, and then I'm going to summarize and tell you what I like and don't like, and give you all that ending stuff. Let's show what the sheath looks like. So there it is on my hip, and it's really easy to, the knife goes in, clicks with the Kydex sheath here. This is the ballistic nylon sheath, very functional. It's got a insert in there, so it helps protect the knife edge. You get a snap, not just Velcro. I don't like knives that have just Velcro. That's not very good. And it comes with a ferro rod as well, ferrocerium rod, really good. Let's get to doing some cutting. I've got some of this apple left. I know it's a big mess right now, so let's clean this up by taking these smaller branches off. And we'll just sort of whack them off as we go, right? Let's get to whacking. There we go, that little guy's gone. My aim's not that good. I don't cut at the same spot twice very well. And then break it off. There's something I want to talk about as I get started with this. There's a whole lot of talk about, the one blade survival knife. You only got one knife. What are you going to do? You got to survive. And then they show that same guy abusing the knife. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you got one knife and you're trying to survive with that knife, you're going to take care of that knife. Our grandparents knew this, and somehow over the last couple generations we've lost this knowledge of, you take care of what you got so it'll be there when you need it. We've, in the wealth of, the 21st century and millennials these days, we live in a throwaway society. I can get another one, no problem. Yeah, that breaks, I'll get another one, no problem. We've forgotten how to take care of our stuff. And so if I was surviving with this knife and I only had the one, I wouldn't be batoning the crap out of it. I wouldn't be, reefing on it and stuff. I wouldn't be taking the tip and just jamming it into stuff and prying it off. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So once I've cut it a few times, I go and I break it with my hand. Why do more whacking with the cutting edge than you need to? You use the cutting edge to the minimal amount that's required, and you do the rest in different ways. And you go around the whole thing and make it weaker. Not necessarily trying to get through the whole thing in one whack. Yeah, and you just sort of work your way through it until it's weak enough to break. You see, that's a whole lot weaker already. It's not quite weak enough yet. Oh, there it goes. It broke anyways. But what I would have done instead of going all the way through is you go part way and then you whack it against the side of a tree or a rock or something and break it. You rarely really need to baton that much when you're making a fire. Let's see, is this on the video? Yeah, that's just barely on the screen. So instead of batoning right down the middle of it, you put your knife on the edge and you do something like this to start preparing kindling. Why take a risk of losing your knife if it's genuinely your one knife solution, the only knife you've got with you? Why would you risk it going right down the middle? You know, just take little pieces off. Can this knife go through the middle of a 3-inch piece of wood? Sure it can. Why risk it? Take off just a little bit and your knife will stay good much longer before you need to sharpen it again, or, you know, God forbid, it breaks. Knives break. It's just part of life, you know? So you take care of what you got. You know, when I first started doing this YouTube thing, I thought, you know, I should take a look at what the other YouTubers do, and I'm going to emulate what they do because they're successful. They've got thousands of subscribers. And I started doing these tests and I was abusing my knives. Not anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think we should be teaching viewers to take care of their knives, to make the knife last, because if you genuinely are going to need this in an emergency, you're going to need it. Because I think a lot of young people who are watching these things are thinking that it's the norm to just wail on a knife. They're thinking it's the norm to just do abusive things to your knife. And you know, it just doesn't make sense to me to do that. Let's learn a lesson from our previous generations. They had to be more frugal for all kinds of reasons. Their metal wasn't as advanced with metallurgy. And let's take care of what we got so it's there when we need it. And I feel the edge. It's very, very sharp still. Let's try to do some feather sticks with this thing. I've never been very good at feather sticks. It's a skill that I'm still working on. And I haven't done very much of it this winter. I took a lot of the winter off just doing folding blades because I don't like going outside when it's minus 30 Celsius. Oh, I just cut one off, but look at that. Look at those feathers. Really nice. Not a problem at all with that. So this edge, the original edge, hollow grind, is really good. So what do I think of this knife so far? I really, really like it. It hasn't gotten hot in the hands at all. I've done way more testing than what you see in this video. I like the micarta, very grippy, very comfortable, easy to use. I like the TPE. It's also very comfortable, very grippy. I like the TPE handle just a little bit. Well, I'm not sure if better or not. To me, it feels like the TPE handle is slightly thinner. And perhaps it's because of this edge right here where the micarta turns and goes flat. That's a little bit sharper on the micarta handle scales than it is on the rubber. And that might be what's giving me that sense. And in that case, I could always take a bit of sandpaper and round that off a little bit on the back as well. Hi there. I forgot to demonstrate earlier when the knife's in the sheath how well it holds. You can hear a little bit of rattle, but it does not come loose. I assume because of the weight of this knife, if I shook it really, really hard, I could get it to, but it holds quite good. And let's try just the L with the ballistic nylon sheath. Again, it makes a little bit of noise because it's slightly loose in there, but holds on really well because of that snap with that fabric there. That holds it very, very well, nice and snug. You got loads of room for a huge belt in there. And this guy, you've got lots of room for a big belt there. That's over 2 inches. That's like, I'll measure it and put it on the screen. I think that's like 2.5, almost 3 inches. Okay, so we're back inside. The ferro rod is a good quality piece of ferrocerium. It throws really good sparks, so that's a good thing. I like how well they're made. I like this little shock cord. The design is just simple and it just works to keep it secure on your sheath. So there you go. I like this knife. If you buy from Amazon, you'll be helping out this channel, giving me a little bit of a boost from funding, from commissions. If you find it cheaper somewhere else, buy it somewhere else. But if you're going to buy it from Amazon, please use my links. That'll help me out with a little bit of extra funding. You know, it's only going to be like $1 per knife or whatever. Your price doesn't go up. It's just I get a little bit of a bonus. That's a good way to help me out, help out the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click on that thumbs up, even if you don't want the knives. Share with somebody who's into this kinds of knife and likes budget knives. Thank you so much for commenting. The comment section is my favorite thing. I like responding to your comments. So, good knife. Use your knives. But remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.